Hello, world. It's going to be on relatively high. I think I'm going to like this one. Recording. What's up, everybody? It's me, Jason Sweatman. I'm from Alabama. As you can see, I'm wearing a medical alert bracelet. I ain't gonna lie, I partied a little bit too hard in my earlier days, and I regret it because I could be living a long life. God has blessed me with two very important things in my life. One being my wife, and the other being my dog. I call her Mama Bear. But, it sounds morbid, but I've been calling this the countdown to death. My wife doesn't like it, but it's inevitable that I'm going to die from cirrhosis of the liver, amongst other things. And I've got a lot of shit on my mind that most people don't want to talk about. And I want to tell you how it all started. I've got some really interesting stories that I would like to share with y'all that would probably blow your mind. Anyway, the thing about it is we're going to start slow and work our way into this. I ain't going to lie, I had to take a couple of nerve pills that are prescribed legally to me to do this because, I just felt like, I might be making a fool of myself, putting my business out there, but, everybody's got a history, and you shouldn't be ashamed of who you are, what you've been through, as long as you learn through it. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life, okay? When I was a kid, I grew up with a single mother, me and my little brother, Jim. He was 18 months younger than me. He really wasn't into any sports like I was. He was more or less in the Hot Wheel cars and playing with his friends. And I was into the basketball and the football, and I excelled in everything I ever done. I was never racist. As a matter of fact, I felt like I should stand up for my friends that are black because they've never done anything to me. And a lot of times when they would be confronted, it was only because of the color of their skin. You got to admit, we're growing up in Alabama at the time, and this was 20, almost 30 years ago. And it's not so much like that anymore, but, But I'm going to fast forward a little bit and tell you as much as I can about. I'm gonna give you something to really think about. Okay. I have a grandchild named Journey. Okay. He was 19 months old, and the mother, from what I get, which is my daughter, her name's Jennifer, and her mother, Michelle, was keeping him. And I've heard various stories, and I don't want to be one to judge in case I'm wrong, but I want the courts to kind of work it out, It's taking forever because Michelle, supposedly, that's my ex, lied to the paramedics regarding why my 19-month-old grandson wasn't being responsive, and said that he was in some rat poison. And supposedly, paramedics gave him the protocol for rat poison, which, if I'm understanding right, is a very, very painful, excruciating protocol for something, especially if it's not true. I don't understand. There were 4 adults there, and they were all on methadone. Huh? 3 adults, and they were all on methadone, and nobody felt compelled to bring the subject up. The possibility that maybe he had ingested some methadone. And, and they let him be pumped numerous times without ever saying that there was a possibility, and I just can't imagine, because even if I was going to get in trouble, or if I thought I was, if it would have saved my grandbaby's life, I would have been more than willing to give them anything they needed, because that baby was innocent, I'm going to ask y'all to go on to YouTube and look under the life of Journey Dorman. His dad, Brandon, made that video for him. He did an excellent job, and you really need to see it. It does a really good justice about how his life was. It's hard for me to say what really happened and what didn't, and I don't want to pick sides right now and then be wrong and then get thrown under the bus. So right now I'm kind of just keeping my opinions to myself, and we're going to let the courts work this one out. But, a little common sense and a little bit of knowing somebody for quite some time, you can kind of figure out what's going on. I have been through so much with the mother of the deceased child here lately. I have gone to bat with her in every aspect that you can imagine, and try to let her know that her daddy was still there for her. And I wanted her to know that, I don't hold a grudge against her, and I'm going to be there for her, But I can't understand why not one single person stepped up to save the life of a 19-month-old baby. I'm so hurt. I was on Facebook when I got the message that my grandbaby had died. And to be honest with you, I was not in my right frame of mind. I was under the influence of some narcotics, and when I found this out, it threw me beyond any place in life I've ever been in. It is so very sad. Now, I'm going to fast forward to right around Christmas time, and my daughter says, because I'd been her only advocate, and she says, Daddy, it's probably going to be our last Christmas because my health is failing. She says, I want you to come to my house and be with me. And when we got in the car, she punched it and left my wife. And I had all my clothes and all my stuff in there. And as of this moment, I have no clothes. I'm having to wear sweatpants every day, and sometimes the same sweatpants. It's embarrassing. I don't have a car. I'm living with my parents, and they can't take me to my doctor's appointments when I need to go, and I have so many problems you just don't know. And I was hoping that maybe somebody would see this and maybe feel the desire to reach out to me and help me get the medical care I need. I have insurance, but getting there is very hard. And before I sign up, I need to make sure that I have, reliable transportation. Otherwise, I would just be starting something that I couldn't finish. I will do anything for my daughter, and I love her, but she's living in a false world right now. She is, I hate to say this, but she wants to be the queen bee. And I don't know where she gets this from. Maybe watching Scarface or something. But I have explained to her that I regret ever putting that type of environment in front of her for her to look up to me, because that was not the right route to go, and I'm ashamed of myself as a father. I've grown a lot as a man. I have very little time to live, maybe 3-6 months, maybe a year if I'm lucky. And I want to get involved in something positive. I can't do a lot of physical activity, but I do have some money coming from my Social Security, and if I could find somebody that would be willing to match me, and with no ill intent, I've got to get my wife set up to where she's gonna have a place to live. And she came here from Georgia 20 years ago, and she doesn't have anybody to fall back on. And I'm afraid my family's gonna kick her to the curb once I pass. My brother has a hatred for her, and he shouldn't, because she's not causing me to do anything that I didn't want to do on my own. I want to find somebody out there that might be interested in purchasing one Uber car, and I've done the mathematics, and I figured that as long as no drug use was involved, and we kept that Uber car on the road 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, except during maintenance, that it could bring in a whole lot of money. I mean, a whole lot of money. I could give you the exact figures. But I need somebody to meet me, and if they don't have the money, they have the credit. And I'm not trying to ruin anybody's credit or anything. I'm just trying to find a legitimate business partner. I'm fixing to get like $4 or $5 grand back in taxes. Plus, they still owe me for 2022, something like that. And I'm just trying to set something going for my family, because I don't want them to have to live hand to fist, and I don't want it to be illegal. It's all cool, when you're a teenager and stuff, but